AM 590, KXSP Omaha's ESPN Radio. It's time for the Metro's only racing talk show. The Front Stretch, presented by Joe's Karting in Council Bluffs. Now, here's Dan Taylor and Buddy Ray.
This is Jack Roush, and you're listening to The Front Stretch.
Good morning, race fans. That's right. It's me, Buddy Ray. I'm back in studio with Dan Taylor here on The Front Stretch on AM 590, Omaha's ESPN Radio. Man, is it good to be back, and I'm all fired up. Daytona 500 time.
We've got a great show lined up for you today, guys. As you heard, the triumphant return of Buddy Ray Jones back to The Front Stretch. Took a little bit of a vacation. Took a little personal time. We're glad to have you back, big guy. Like I said, show lined up for you today. We've got a big announcement we're going to do in turn 2. The Pick'ems contest, you know, the one that
this is going to be awesome.
You ended up in 4th place last year.
You screwed me.
Oh, guys, whatever. I saved you 3 times. We're going to release it to the public. All the information will be in turn 2. You guys can now compete against everyone else in the Front Stretch world and in the racing world. That's coming up in turn 2. In turn 3, we're going to talk to Roadkill from Mid-America Motorplex. Jim Howe?
Jim Howe. I want to know how he got the name Roadkill, because he does not look like Roadkill.
We're going to find, and I would never say it to his face.
He looks bigger than Roadkill.
He could definitely take me down.
If you see Roadkill that big on the highway, you have done something.
You do. Deer. Buffalo.
Well, that's usually splattered all over the roadway.
So Roadkill's coming up in turn 3 to talk Midwest Motorplex. In turn 4, we're going to wrap it all up. We'll talk Daytona 500. We'll talk what's going on today at Quicker Steak and Lube. We'll recap the contest. We'll do a little bit of a preview for 2014. Should be a fantastic day for racing today at Daytona, and we got a lot of stuff lined up for you. So let's get started in turn number 1. I know, I wasn't ready. I figured what would be good to start off turn number 1 is to kind of recap changes in the offseason.
I got married. Is that a change in the offseason?
That is a change. That is a massive commitment that nobody was banking on.
No.
Vegas was taking bets on that over-under.
I think there was 40 people that showed up at my house. I don't think they were coming to watch the wedding. I think they were coming to see if it was actually going to happen.
They were bill collecting, probably.
I'm telling you.
Some of the driver changes in the offseason that you may notice today, and you've already seen at the Sprint Unlimited and the Bud Shootout Thursday night. The number 4 car, now driven by Kevin Harvick, used to be over at Richard Childress Racing. He's now taken over essentially taken over Ryan Newman's team. He's now driving the number 4 Jimmy John's Budweiser Chevrolet at Stewart-Haas Racing. Let's see, Ryan Newman now moves to the 31 to replace Jeff Burton. Kurt Busch also joining Stewart-Haas Racing in the 41 car as the 4th team and the newest team at Stewart-Haas Racing. Kyle Larson debuts today at Daytona with the number 42 car replacing Juan Pablo Montoya, who oddly enough may be back in NASCAR for a couple of races a year. Sounds like he's trying to put together a deal at Indy.
That'd be all right. I tell you what, though, that Stewart-Haas Racing, that 4-car team, Danica, she's getting better. I'll give her props. She's getting better. She knows how to drive a car in a lot of ways. But man, when you got Harvick, Busch, Stewart, Danica,
I mean, honestly, if you're Danica Patrick, you got to be sitting there going, if I can't become successful at this place, I'm not going to become successful anywhere. Because what better 3 drivers could you pick to learn from?
Absolutely.
And her driving style, too. She doesn't like to take any guff from anybody, including her boyfriend.
You know, everybody talks about, we could pound on that subject all night long, but...
Nope. Let's not use that kind of wording, but yeah. We'll talk more about that coming up in turn 4 probably. Maybe even a little bit in turn 2 when we got more things we need to talk about. AJ Allmendinger replaced some Bobby Labonte in the number 47. Brian Vickers, if he is able to remain healthy, will be the number 55 driver full-time over at Michael Waltrip Racing. Martin Truex Jr., who qualified outside pole for today's Daytona 500, takes over for Kurt Busch at Furniture Row Racing in the number 78 car. So that's kind of the big movers and shakers. Also, Austin Dillon, obviously that's kind of the big story of the offseason, that and Tony Stewart's leg.
Austin Dillon, real quick. Mm-hmm. I'll give you 1 minute. Number 3, was it good that he brought it back, or should they have retired it? Because I've been watching this on Facebook with a lot of
fans. I wasn't a fan of it last year when there was rumors going around. But
I don't have a problem with it.
Give me my 1 minute.
Okay.
Give me my 1 minute. I've actually come around to this. I think it is, there's the argument. It's Richard Childress's number. That's his number. He's the one that has it. He's the one that drove it first. But there were other drivers that drove that 3, and So I don't know. I'm kind of 50-50 on it. Basically, my answer to the question, I don't have a problem with it. It's going to be cool to see it back out there, and I think it was kind of cool that he managed to put it on the pole for today's race. So I don't have a problem with it.
I don't have a problem with it. You know, Richard Childress owned the number. Yeah, there was other drivers that drove it. Richard Childress, I think, drove it at one time, but he owns them. He can do whatever he wants with it. And for others to sit there and say, well, it's a NASCAR conspiracy just because it's Austin Dillon in the 3, they put it on the pole. No, he had to go out there. You idiots, watch TV, watch the qualifying. He had to earn it.
The black helicopters fly regardless. I don't know if you're paying attention to the Facebook page last Sunday. I accidentally got a posted by mistake on the Facebook page that Dale Jr. had won the pole for
thank
Daytona.
you. I called my next door neighbor and I was like, dude, Junior's on the pole. He's all excited.
Yeah, and so it turns out that they hadn't even started qualifying yet. The notice I got on my phone from the NASCAR app was that Dale Jr. rolls off first for qualifying. Well, I read it as Dale Jr. will roll off first after qualifying for the Daytona 500. So I read it wrong and I posted it, and then I'm not making fun of anybody. The guy's like, oh boy, that'd have been a conspiracy theory if he would have actually won the pole and blah, 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 and whatever. That's
hey, real quick, Kyle Larson.
I want to go back to that though, but okay. I want to go back to your point of the number 3 car. I read this earlier in the week. I was just doing a little research at work, but did you realize, I don't know if anybody out there knew, but Richard Childress actually told NASCAR they should retire the 3.
Well, there you go, people.
Shortly after Dale Senior's death, he was a part of the supporting community that felt they should retire the number 3. They never did, and now Austin's racing it. And I got no problem with Austin racing it. I think he's a talented kid. I think he's one of the very few people that has a silver spoon in his mouth. People are going to attack him because Richard Childress is his papa. He comes from a fortunate background, but the kid can drive a race car, and he proved it with championships.
You know what? I seen on Facebook, a lot of people are like, well, I don't even know if Austin knows how to change a tire. You know what? What's his job? To change a tire or drive the damn car? Damn car.
He knows how to change a tire.
That's all he... Well,
Heck,
no,
kid.
what I'm making as... Yeah. You can't run all that.
I know.
He knows how to drive a car.
This kid has grown up in a race shop. And what's he supposed to do?
Well, yeah. I mean, just let him go out and do his dang job.
Just because he grew up in a race shop, he's not allowed to race a car. Just because Richard Childress is his dad, he's not allowed,
only that,
or grandpa.
but even if Richard Childress is his papa, do you seriously think when you look at
that term too.
Well, even grandpa, I call him grandpa.
No,
but
I
even if Richard is his grandpa, how many hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars is invested in Austin to put him in that car on the biggest race in the nation, for stock car racing? You're not going to want to sit there and go, well, let's just put my son in that, or my grandson in that car. His son has got to be worthy. You can't just walk into NASCAR and go, oh, hey, give me a license. I want to go race.
Frankly, in my thoughts, I think Austin has proven himself. I think he went through the ranks like he should have. He won a championship in Truck Series. He narrowly missed it 2 years in a row in Nationwide, and now he's coming up to Cup.
Talladega last year? He did good in Tony Stewart's car?
Yeah,
he did. 4th, I think?
He did. Oh, no, but he wrecked.
Oh, but he got up. He was up there.
That was one of the bets that you haven't paid up on yet. You thought he would finish top 10. He ended up wrecking and finished 36th. But that's okay. We won't worry about that.
Statute of limitations.
I want to Bull. I'm calling Bull on that. I want to pivot to a guy that I don't want to put it as he hasn't paid his dues, but I think it's too early for him, and I'm really worried that they're going to ruin this talent, and that's Kyle Larson. You were starting to ask me about him. I would have liked ideal situation for Kyle to stay down one more year, but I don't have a problem with him coming up into Cup. I just worry that it's too soon for him, and that it's going to be another Joey Logano situation where he struggled the entire time at Joe Gibbs Racing, but now that he's gotten outside of that organization, he's gone to Penske. He's starting to thrive, and he's starting to do better. Like I said, I'm just worried that it's too soon.
Do you see him being in the top 16 at the end of the season?
No.
I do.
I don't, not at all.
I don't think he won't win the chase, but he'll be in the chase. He'll be one of the top 16.
In the grid?
In the grid.
I don't think he will. I don't see him winning.
I think he's...
First off, if he was at Hendrick, or he was at Joe Gibbs, or he was at Roush, I would lean closer towards yes, but he is at an organization that has continuously finished outside of the top 25 in points, and has had talented drivers like Juan Pablo Montoya and like Jamie McMurray, and they have done nothing with that talent. So I think
he's a better driver than all those.
I don't think he's a better driver than Juan Pablo Montoya.
We'll see.
He's a great driver, and only time will tell. And this is going to be an awesome season. I'm really excited about this. Daytona 500 green flag about 1:30 today, I believe. Coverage starts Quaker Steak and Lube. We'll be on the big screens at noon. If you want to come down today, I'll be down there. I won't be down there for the front stretch, but I'll be down
Texas
there.
Cheeseburgers.
I think I'm going to go with the bucket of wings.
Really?
They have
switching it up, huh?
A bucket of wings, a compact bucket of wings, and a lube tube for $24.95 or something like that. So I'll get more than drunk, and I'll get pretty well fattened up on some great wings. There's also some an all-you-can-eat wings all day long. During the Daytona 500, there's some great prizes they're giving away: Bass Pro Shop gift certificate, Camping World Truck Series Camping World RV Center gift certificate. Plus, they've got 20 tickets to Iowa Speedway for the Truck Series race in July. So those are awesome prizes they're giving away this week at Quaker Steak and Lube. Head down there and try to win. You better believe I'm going to be down there trying to win.
Better getting drunk.
Well, both. It'll be a good time. I can't wait. We're going to take a quick break and then come back. We'll talk about the Pick'ems contest when we come back. We'll describe exactly how it's going to work. We'll lay it all out, and we'll hope that you get involved in it. This is the Front Stretch on AM 590, Omaha's ESPN Radio.
This is Andrew from Kaziski Auto Parts. Kaziski Auto Parts is an insurance-quality used parts supplier that can match your foreign or domestic car or truck needs. If you have a damaged or broke-down car or truck, we guarantee a clean and quality part in next-day fashion. Kaziski Auto Parts, your neighborhood premium recycled parts supplier. Call any Kaziski Auto Parts salesman today by dialing 402-731-4592 or visit us at 5040 I Street in Omaha. Kaziski Auto Parts, our quality used parts will match your car or truck's needs.
Are you ready for fast-paced, adrenaline-pumping, wheel-to-wheel racing right here in the Metro? Get to Joe's Karting in Council Bluffs and see what it's like to race real go-karts. Joe's Karting knows it's no fun to race go-karts at 10 miles per hour, so they ripped the governors out, and now the only restriction is how good you are at racing. It's full-throttle, white-knuckle racing every day of the week. Head over to joeskarting.com for hours, prices, and specials, or give Buddy a call today and set up your group races at 712-256-5278.
We're working the high line into turn 2 on the Front Stretch, presented by Joe's Karting. Online at joeskarting.com.
Hey, this is Matt Kenseth, and you're listening to the Front Stretch.
Welcome back to the Front Stretch, presented by Joe's Karting in Council Bluffs, online at joeskarting.com. We are heading into turn number 2, brought to you by Kaziski Auto Parts, 51st and I Street. Kaziski Auto Parts is where you head to get quality, affordable prices, parts at an affordable price. I haven't screwed that up or anything. Listen, let me break it down for you. You know that snow you got the other day?
Yep.
Did you run into somebody?
Nope.
Go to Kaziski Auto Parts and get the replacement part.
Well, when I say I didn't run into them.
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the listener. It's that one-on-one engagement we're trying to do. I'm talking to the listener, not you. I don't like talking to you. If you happen to get into a wreck because of the recent snowstorms, walk into Kaziski Auto Parts, 51st and I Street. Ask for Andrew. He's going to take good care of you. Kid knows exactly what he's doing back there.
He knows what he's doing, and he's always telling me he's bored, so Smart. He needs more work.
He'll get you the part. You need a radiator. You need a radiator hose. You need an alternator. Do you need a fan belt? He can find the part for you out in their salvage yard. You're going to get a quality used part at an affordable price, and that's Kaziski Auto Parts, proud sponsor of the Front Stretch. And we want to send out a big special thank you to Kaziski Auto Parts for once again letting us do the Legends of the Dirt series, which we wrapped up last weekend.
How cool of a series was that this year?
I'm telling you, I just wish I could grasp some of the drivers we're talking to.
Steve Kinzer.
I get, obviously I get how big Steve Kinzer is, but somebody like Freddie Smith or
Gary Webb,
or even Ed Sanger, Gary Webb, Jeff Purvis, these guys, they're just guys to me. They're guys on the other end of the phone line that I'm talking to about their race career. But someone like Lee Ackerman, he is in complete awe. Because he's Lee's 60s, 70s. He's been watching these guys his entire life. And we're interviewing them, talking to them about their career. And it's a really, really cool thing. I just kind of wish I could appreciate it a little bit more,
You know who I'd like to see, and eventually we're going to have this Yahoo from Mid-America Motorplex on. But maybe if we could talk to him, it's not Legends of the Dirt, but boy, if we could get guys like John Force, Kenny Bernstein.
I think John Force would be really cool.
He's got to be a great
He's a straight track guy. He's a dragger.
Yeah.
But you know what? He's a legend in the racing world. So.
Oh yeah. If you think these NASCAR guys don't have some love and respect for some of the NHRA guys and back and forth, you're sadly mistaken.
If you missed any of the Legends of the Dirt series, good thing is Joe's Karting pays to put them up on YouTube every single week, and we have a front stretch page that we have a playlist set up to where you can re-listen to all 12 of the interviews, and we have it broke down to exactly what second the Legends interview starts. Go over to the YouTube page, track down Joe's Karting.
Hey, we have all 3 seasons even on YouTube.
Just about every show. We've lost a couple of them because of some technical difficulties, which, by the way, we haven't had any technical difficulties in a long time. You just
jinxed us.
I know. I knocked on wood. What do you want me to do about it? All right, we're about ready to announce this new Pick'ems contest. Not really new Pick'ems contest, but you talked to me about it last year, and we came up with it, and we ran it just as like a sample to see how it would work and to work out some of the kinks.
It was fun as heck. It was a lot of work, and I still say you screwed me out of it.
I hated it. I love doing it, but I hated it because, like, you'd pick Kevin Harvick for a race. I like Kevin Harvick, but now I got to root against Kevin Harvick. And I hate rooting for Juan Pablo Montoya, but I had to take him at a road course, so now I got to root for one. I hated the contest, but it was a lot of fun. So we're going to open it up to you fans, and you've got only about 4 hours left to really get your picks in. We're giving you until noon today, and just
noon or the drop of the green flag.
I'm just going to do noon today.
Okay.
Just simply because to be honest with you, I don't know exactly what time the green flag is today because NASCAR it moves it around a little bit. I know coverage for the Daytona 500 starts at about 11 on Fox. They go down to the race side about noon, which is when the national anthem's going to be the command to fire your engines, but it may be about 12:15. So I'm just going to say noon today. Get your picks
12 p.m. Central Time.
Yes, and thank you for that Central Time, just to be safe so no one's like, well, I'm on Eastern Time and it's not fair. It's noon Central. Google it if you need to find out what that is in Eastern and West and Pacific Time.
Yeah. Noon
Central. You can come down to Quaker Steak and Lube today and get them to me in person. As long as they're in by noon, I'll count them, but here's the way it works. This is about as simple as you can get. You pick your driver for the Daytona 500, whoever it can be. And frankly, there's probably going to be about 20 to 30 people that are going to do this contest. So there's not going to be enough drivers to go around for everybody because you're not going to. So you can pick anybody's driver. I mean, 5 people could pick Jimmy Johnson today.
Okay, I was going to ask that.
As many people as so they could pick. It doesn't mean that once the driver's picked, he's gone. So you pick your driver for today. Then you pick him next weekend for Las Vegas. Then the following weekend for Phoenix. Wherever that driver finishes, you get their points.
That includes points after any penalties, fines, assessments, anything. We need to clarify that right now.
You know that really well. So the contestants will pick the driver they think will finish the best. Maybe not necessarily will win the race, because the hardest part of this, and this is something that we all ran into, you can only pick the driver once in 5 races, and you can only pick the same driver twice in a season. So once you've picked Jimmy Johnson for Daytona, you can't pick him for another 5 races,
which would be Martinsville, I believe.
Right, and
race
you
number
can't.
6.
And then if you pick him again, he's gone. You want him for the chase because he's obviously going to be a contender. And now with the new chase grid, it makes it even more valuable to keep those top drivers, those top 10 drivers in your pocket.
What's going to end up happening is you're going to have to use some of those mediocre drivers.
Yeah.
I mean, we were.
Well, and the good news is, you've got tracks that. Say Marcus Ambrose. I'm not calling him mediocre at all, but he's a good pick for a road course.
Right.
And there's like Brian Vickers. He's really good at certain 1.5-mile tracks. So there's a couple of drivers out there that you can bank on those guys and save yourself a pick.
But just to be clear, I want to clear up the points issue because, like last year, Matt Kenseth at Kansas City won the race. Right. He got docked a lot of points. When the points are finalized, that is the point. So, Jimmy Johnson, everybody says he cheats. Jimmy Johnson wins the 500. He led the most laps. He's got 43 points. NASCAR comes back, or 48 points. NASCAR comes back and says, your car's sitting too low. We're going to dock you 20 driver points. He then leaves with 28 points.
You take that point deduction also. Now, I'll get to that in a little bit deeper too. So contestants can only pick the same driver. Cannot pick the same driver within 5 races. So whoever you pick for the Daytona 500, you cannot pick them again until race number 6 at Martinsville. And listen, if you're emailing in your picks, I'm going to try to do my best to say, nope, you already took them, but that's your deal. It's on you guys to make sure you've picked them. You haven't picked them yet, so keep track of that. And through email, I'll send out the standings so you can kind of keep track of it that way too. All right, now, if you happen to pick a driver that is penalized for any reason, you will be subject to those penalties. Your case in point, the first time we went to Kansas last year, Matt Kenseth dominated the whole race, led the most laps, got a bonus point for leading lap, obviously, and then won the race, so he had 48 points. Then he was docked 50 points for having illegal engine modifications. Now, we all agree Toyota was the one that did that. It wasn't Matt Kenseth, but NASCAR fined the driver championship driver points, so you would be fined those points also. It was really funny because that day that we did the show, we happened to bring up that subject, and you were the one that said, nope, you pick a driver that cheats, you pay the price. That day, Matt Kenseth got busted 50 points. Now, later on, the appeals process, it was reduced to a 12-point fine, so you ended up walking away with a 36-point day.
Yep.
After everything was all said and done. You were looking at a -2 day.
Yeah.
So it's just, that's the way it rolls. Okay. Now, you do need to get your picks into me at thefrontstretch590@gmail.com.
Do not email me. Do not Facebook me. Do not private message Buddy Ray. It's straight AM or Front Stretch AM 590. Oh, my bad.
Frontstretch590@gmail.com. The reason why we're doing that is because there's a time code when an email comes in. There isn't necessarily a time code on a Facebook message or a Facebook post. It's not exact times. So just to keep it fair, I gotta stick to the emails. Email only, frontstretch590@gmail.com. And like I said, we don't mean to be sticklers about it, but to be fair, we have to. And it's just because there's a time code that comes in with that email. So as long as the email is in the inbox by the time the green flag waves, I watch every single race. I watch probably 34 out of 36 races out of the year.
What about text messaging?
No. Nothing.
Nope.
Just email.
Okay.
Strictly email. Frontstretch590@gmail.com.
Okay.
It's an easy email address. Every Monday, we'll send out the updated list. And then every Friday, I'm going to try to send out the stat sheet from that coming track. So we get top drivers of that track. Who's got the most top 10 finishes, who's got the most top 5s, who has the worst finishes at those tracks. I'll send out that whole sheet that NASCAR sends us every single week. I'll send that out to everybody so you guys can pick your drivers. Now, here comes the good parts. Joe's Karting has ponied up and said, anybody who is the points leader after every single race, I'm going to give you 2 free races.
Yep, that's weekly.
Whoever's in second and third place is going to get a race apiece.
Yep.
So first, second, and third all pays out every single week. This could be the simple scenario to where somebody just dominates the league and they walk away with, what are you looking at, 72 races in their pocket?
Whoever wins the season will get 6 free races to Joe's for winning it. Just
for winning. So at the end, whoever the champion is, you're going to get a big prize pool. Now, we've thrown in a little bit more because we want people to win. We want to change it up a little bit so it's not just one person winning every week. Every 5 races, somebody's going to get the opportunity to win more prizes. And we're going to do prize packs to I-80 Speedway, to Eagle Raceway. I wonder if we can talk to Jim when he comes in a little bit to give us some stuff for Mid-America Motorplex.
You know, maybe when he's done picking up hamburgers up off the floor, he might think about giving us something.
I think we could talk Jim into giving us some stuff, but we'll talk to him coming up in turn 3. So there's races, there's prizes for every 5 races, there's prizes for every single race, and then there's prizes at the grand prize. There's a grand prize at the end of it, which we're working on getting the package together. But Quaker Steak and Lube will give us some stuff. We're going around to different places to give us some stuff.
Oh yeah, so stay tuned. We'll be talking about it every week. I do want to
hang on. Let me finish the rules before you interrupt, real quick. Now, there is tiebreaker scenarios because this could very well come. It's going to come down to Homestead. It did last year. I had a chance at beating Andrew, and I wasn't able to pull it out. But in the event of a tiebreaker, everybody has to pick their championship contender at the beginning of the year. This has nothing to do with the points. It has nothing to do with you can only pick the driver X amount of times. I thought Kyle Busch was going to win the championship last year. You took... Who did you take last year? I can't even remember now.
Clint Boyer.
You took Boyer. That's right. Okay. So if Andrew and I would have tied, Andrew would have won because he correctly picked Jimmy Johnson.
Yep.
It's going to be the best finishing of those championships. So Jimmy obviously finished first. I think, I don't even know in the point standings anymore. 2013 is way back then. I don't even remember now. But that's how the tiebreaker is set up. Now, that should be the only tiebreaker that is necessary, but we've got more just in case we're not foreseeing anything. So that's the way the tiebreakers work. When you email me your pick for today, also email me your championship contender. Who you think is going to finish the championship?
That championship contender, that is locked in for the season, though.
By the way, I just thought of what that other factor would be. If multiple people pick Jimmy Johnson, they happen to tie after Homestead, they've all picked Jimmy Johnson, then the second tiebreaker is going to be the contestant who has the most wins. Not the best points day, but the most wins on the season. I think you, me, and Andrew, amongst everybody, picked. We each picked 2 or 3 times that we got the right driver that day, and that will factor into NASCAR. I want to go back to the Kansas situation where he was fined 50 points. He was also docked that win. So that would go against your champ. Now, after the rules and the appeals, he was given that win back. So NASCAR does define if they have removed the win from their record, and that would be removed from your record also. So first tiebreaker, who's your champion? Second tiebreaker, who has the most wins on the season?
Yep. And beyond that, we're not for sure.
Yeah, we'll think of something.
Yeah, we'll think of something.
Buddy, Andrew, and obviously not Andrew, but Buddy and I are not competing in this just to be safe. But every weekend, we're going to give who we would pick.
I think we should be allowed to play. No, not officially. We're just going to play along and just see where we'd finish. But yeah, we won't be in the official standings.
I don't have a problem. I don't want to compete because, like I said, then I started rooting against drivers, which I don't want to do.
I'm a competitor.
You want to compete in it again?
I will compete in it, but I want this to be for our listeners.
So you can't win anything.
I can't win anything.
And he's going to be in 18th anyway, so don't worry about it.
Yeah.
It's not like he's going to be winning anything. That's the points, the NASCAR Pick'ems contest.
You big chicken.
Because I don't want to do that again. Like I said, last year I was starting to root against drivers that I actually liked, and then I had to root for drivers I don't like. I just didn't like doing the contest. I didn't like stressing about it. I just wanted to sit there and watch the race. So I'm bowing out this year. I'm taking my second place and I'm going home.
Good Lord.
If you have any questions, head over to the Facebook page. We posted the comment or the contest. We didn't post the rules because it got to be a little bit long for a Facebook post. You can email us, frontstretch590@gmail.com. I'll respond to you right away because I do get it on my phone, so it won't be long for me to get it back to you. But the important thing is, before noon today, send me your driver for the Daytona 500 and send me your championship pick. It's a free contest, and all you can do is win, and have some good times. I'll be down at Quaker Steak and Lube later today. You can come down and hang out with me, get some wings, get some beer, and you can tell me in person your pick, and I'll be glad to put it in there. Noon is the cutoff date, though. We went long. Jim's outside knocking on the door. Let's talk to Jim from Mid-America Motorplex. What do you say?
Sounds good to me.
We'll be right back on the front stretch.
For 50 years, Eagle Raceway has been pushing the limits of dirt track racing. Saturday nights, come see the Midwest Best Battle at the fastest third-mile track. Gates open at 5:30 for IMCA Modifieds, Sport Compacts, Hobby Stocks, Sport Mods, and Race Saver Sprint Cars. Eagle kicks their season off on April 19th with the Icebreaker Challenge, featuring the debut of the Race Saver Sprint Cars. Located just 10 minutes east of Lincoln on Highway 34 and online at eagleraceway.com.
Bring the hottest gift to the gift exchange by bringing a gift card to Quaker Steak and Lube. Now through December 25th, for every $25 gift card purchase to the Lube, score a $5 bonus card free. Give the gift of Lube Loot and the Best Wings USA with gift cards to the Lube. Now through December 25th, every $25 card purchase gets you a $5 bonus card free. Treat yourself and your friends this holiday season and grab your gift cards to Quaker Steak and Lube, 3220 Mid-America Drive in Council Bluffs. More info at thelube.com.
Are you ready for fast-paced, adrenaline-pumping, wheel-to-wheel racing right here in the Metro? Get to Joe's Karting in Council Bluffs and see what it's like to race real go-karts. Joe's Karting knows it's no fun to race go-karts at 10 miles per hour, so they ripped the governors out, and now the only restriction is how good you are at racing. It's full-throttle, white-knuckle racing every day of the week. Head over to joeskarting.com for hours, prices, and specials, or give Buddy a call today and set up your group races at 712-256-5278.
Time to grab another tear-off and make your move. We're headed into Turn 3 on the front stretch, presented by Joe's Karting.
Hey, my name's Dwayne Ogles, rear tire changer of the number 22 Discount Tire Ford Fusion, and you're listening to the front stretch.
Welcome back to the Front Stretch, presented by Joe's Karting in Council Bluffs, online at joeskarting.com. That is karting with the K. Get to Joe's today. Fast-paced, white-knuckle racing, where the only speed restriction is how fast you are.
You're not.
The guy we have in the studio now knows no bounds for speed restrictions.
Nope.
Parking tickets and speeding tickets, all abound to prove it. First and foremost, thank you, Roadkill from Midwest Motorplex, for supplying us with a little bit of sugar. I think you can hear it all of a sudden. Last turn, we were kind of back down, mellow, evened out, but all of a sudden
bouncing off the
that
walls.
sugar high is kicked in.
You gotta have donuts. You can't come empty-handed to an interview. You know that.
You know what? Oddly enough, you are the first person in 3 years of doing this show that has brought us food. Well, it's brought us food. I've brought food in before on a long interview night, but no guest has ever brought us food.
I saw him at the front door, and I thought he had pizza, and he's like, Dunkin' Donuts. I was like, oh, this guy went all out.
It's great to have you in studio. First off, we want to dispel the rumors. I keep hearing things about Midwest Motorplex. True or false, it is being turned into a pool.
Yeah, that's always a way to go. Well, it was a pool a couple of years ago.
That's true.
It was.
I'll tell you what, it's Mid-America Motorplex, and I know you're close right on there. You've talked to me before, and we've talked about the track. And one thing I really appreciate about both you guys is your passion for racing and your interest in the Motorplex. Mid-America Motorplex, let's see, how can I say this? I've managed it 9 years in a row, and during the 9 years I've been involved with the Plex, I had some interest and some controlling interest in it as well. It's always gonna, every single year, when winter comes, it's its way in the circle track community as well, buddy.
Yep.
What is the rumor? You know.
Oh, we're going out of business.
It's done. It's just like sunset.
You know how many racetracks Joe Kaczynski's bought over the years?
Oh, my God.
I was going to bring that up.
Hey, you know I'm a Smoking Joe number 53 fan. Always have been. I love that guy. But let me tell you guys something. Ever since I was a kid, it was the same thing. Sunset last year because of sound restriction. Then it's Scribner. Oh, they're closing.
Yeah.
And everybody, and we have had some tracks close over the years in the Midwest. And Midwest racing, compared to other places, it's different, but now more than ever, the circle track community is huge. The drag community's built back up. I got a lot of good drag racers, and I'll tell you, my road course community, awesome. We got some real good road course talent here in the community as well. Now, to dispel the rumors, here's the deal. Over the years, up and down, we're going to close, we're going to open, we're going to close. Every year, it's been business as usual. We've stayed open. This year was the year that we were on the line just a little bit, and the owner decided to move on to other ventures, and he put the track up for auction. Mm-hmm. I'm sitting there. This is a true story, buddy. You can relate. I'm sitting there at the desk, and the track is gone, okay? This land developer guy is going to buy it, and I mean, this is one of the most miserable days of my life. I just didn't have enough money to swing it and things like that. And a couple of my friends wanted to invest, but they didn't know about the details. I'm sitting at the desk, and it's going for way lower than I thought that it was going to go for, and I'm sitting there and I'm watching this land developer chomp at the bid in the front row, and he's going to get it, and it's stuck at the certain price. And it was first, second, third call, last call. I picked up my phone. This is a true story. And I called a good friend of mine who lives right across the street, a good neighbor, good friend. And I said, hey, this thing's going to sell for what we think, we might be able to get it. And my buddy John Fitch stepped up to the pump, and he said, Jimmy, do it. Over the phone, we put the bid in.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, the crowd sat there and looked at us like, what's going on here? Come on, Roadkill.
Where did you guys come from?
Oh, yeah,
Are you running up the price?
Is it a trick? Is it smoke and mirrors? Things sold for, all liens cleared and a clean title, and it was a lot lower than what we wanted for it. But it worked out good for the new owner. The old owner, we didn't get exactly what we wanted for it, but I'll tell you what, he did a good job keeping the place open for all the years he did. Now, what we did is we jumped in, we got the track. My friend partnered up with another guy. They put some money behind it. I'm the operating manager, and I'm vested in on it as well. And I got two good guys behind me. And these guys are very interested in the facility, and they know what needs to be done and what needs to be cleaned up and straightened out. But I'll tell you what, we've had a lot of good racing over the years, and we're going to continue to march down that path and keep bringing it on.
Well, let's talk about that racing. I do apologize. I've never been down there. That's going to be my goal this year, to knock that off my list.
Oh, I got another goal for you.
Uh-oh.
Extreme driving experience.
Oh, yeah. I do. Listen, my daily commute is extreme driving experience. By the way people drive in Omaha, I get to
Father's Day
weekend.
I'm gonna put you in an Audi. Yeah, we might put him in a Lambo. What are we gonna put him in, buddy? We got to put him in something.
Don't put him in a Lambo. He can't hardly contain the power of a Ranger. Don't put him in a Lambo.
Please.
Lambo time.
Remember, hey, did I ever tell you about the time I beat Buddy at Joe's Karting?
What?
No, he didn't.
What?
Yes, I did. I have the printout to prove it.
What?
That I beat
him. He spun me out.
Whatever.
Hey, isn't that what you guys always say? Rubbin's racing, racing's rubbin'.
Yes.
I'll tell you what, if you say Rubbin's racing on the road course, you're going to get some Grey Poupon thrown in your face. It is not. You don't rub and race on the road course.
It's a completely, because I've watched road course racing on the Speed Channel and now Fox Sports 1.
Those guys are great.
It's a different atmosphere. It's not this good old boy.
No.
I'll get you this lap, and then you rub me back. It's what we do.
I'll tell you what.
It's an etiquette. You don't touch.
Well,
right?
you don't try to. But I'll tell you what. I'm gonna throw a shout out there for a good friend of mine, Nathan Walbaum. She owns a Full Throttle driving experience, and she's my instructor for the whole Mid-America Motorplex. If you want to get on the track, you have to go through Nathan. This lady can drive. And I'll tell you, I was in just a lemons race, where you put the old junkers together and race them. And I'm going to tell you, it is a different atmosphere, but it's so competitive.
Yeah.
And your speeds are so high. It's very fun. I'll tell you what, anybody that's drag raced or went circle track, and they're always like, I don't think I'll do that road course. They get on the road course and they go, holy, whoa, this is a lot of bang for the buck.
I remember the one time I showed up out there and you had an outing going on out there and you put me in a
Crown Vic?
No, it was a Camaro. Okay, an SS Camaro.
Oh, I got in trouble on that one.
Yeah, because well, it's kind of funny. Well, maybe not be funny now, but he's got me going around the track and he's like, a little faster. I thought you were a race car driver. By that last lap, you're like, brakes, stop. And I burned the brakes out on that car.
The brakes were pretty hot, buddy. You did a good job. I'm like, you get to turn left and right tonight.
Yeah.
He's not so good with the turning. Well, actually, never mind. I'm not gonna.
So you spun him out? Did you really spin him out?
No,
yes,
I didn't. I did not spin him out. He's just so mad. He can't stand it that I beat him.
Oh, my
but
Lord.
Me, him, and Andrew all went down there one night. We put our cards on the table, and we all raced 3 races. We raced the exact same karts. And I won one, Andrew won one, and Bud won one.
Oh, we got a runoff.
And what makes him the maddest is that I beat the other 2 drivers. But it was.
How about we go to Mid-America and we race your Ford against my Dodge?
Because that'll work out great for everybody.
No, handicap, though. Think about it. Friday night.
A 6-cylinder against a V8 turbo.
I don't have a V8.
No,
I have
check this out.
6.
No,
wait a second. Check this out. That's a good challenge, buddy. I like it because Friday nights, this is kind of a, what are you going to call it? Advertisement.
Give it a plug.
Okay, Friday nights, every Friday night, Mid-America Motorplex, 7 o'clock to 11 o'clock, any Friday night for 7 months, as long as it's not raining, you can run what you brung. Anything.
There you go.
You can put your car against his truck, and I can handicap dial you in. We could put you in a trophy class on Saturday night.
And
I'm not an idiot. I'm not going to put my freaking Ford Ranger against your Dodge
No,
Duramax.
you dial them in. It's handicap. You dial them in.
I don't have a V8. I have a Cummins 6-cylinder.
Check this out.
Still more horsepower than my truck, right?
You know how many people will come just to see Buddy Ray trophy race on a Saturday night in a summit race? And what it is, it's a trophy race. We put you in, we put him in, we dial you in. We stagger the tree. In other words, you leave on one tree, he lives on the other, and it's fair. It's first one across the line without breaking out and running your time. And, I'm not so sure I could help dial you in a little bit. Let me tell you something. It's a riot, and a lot
like
of people...
Like a circle tracker, it's rigged already. I can see the race.
I'll tell you what, if you can dial a car in and get it down, it's a heck of a skill. And my drag racers, I'm going to call my drag racers, hi, drag racers. These guys are some of the best in the country. We run 8th mile, and we run it all the time. And a lot of guys will come up here thinking they're, we'll just go over to Mid-America Motorplex, no big deal. And they're getting handed
I've
to
actually
them.
been there. You've actually seen me race my Dodge.
Oh, I've seen you a couple different times.
Is that why it's always broke down? You got there to the
No, but that thing did boogie down the track pretty good.
I'll bet
fast.
it did.
Well, my guys, I'm telling you, we got divisional racers, NHRA. And they are good. If you come there, you better pack your lunch because there's a lot of good talent right out of that racetrack.
So Friday nights is bring what you
run what you brung. Anybody, everybody, or you can test and tune. And I stick the track. I put a nice stick on the track and I touch it up a couple times on Friday nights. And the last Friday night of the month is called Heads Up Street Wars, and that's where things get serious and we keep it really sticky. We let the big boys play. Saturday nights, NHRA bracket racing got 3 different point series this year. They're really good.
on your run what you're brung, what is the most unique item you've seen go down the track?
I shouldn't even say this.
Do it.
Okay, jet dune buggy.
Oh, what?
Jet dune buggy.
Wait.
So, Professor from
I wish the listeners could see Dan's face. And he's like,
Professor.
I know what it is. Somebody actually raced that?
Oh my Lord! Professor from UNO put it together. Worked like 5 years on this thing.
does Dr. Dean Sickling have a brother?
And each week he'd show up. God bless him. I say, I can't let you go. Well, why not? I go, well, you don't have front brakes. Well, guess what? I'm thinking, I got rid of him, right? Boom! Next week, hey, I got front brakes on it.
God.
Like, I can't let you go. And pretty soon the guy got it all filed in and demoed into where he ran this thing. And I'll tell you, it was pretty impressive. It's pretty fun. But well, we've had motorized picnic tables. What else?
What?
Wow.
Oh yeah, we've ran it all. You name it, we've
Barstool racers?
Oh, all the time. That's every day.
We get you guys have a special event coming up in a little over a month, right?
Oh, I'm
April
excited.
6th.
Buddy, I'm excited.
This is going to be, the nice thing that you and I have talked about, Jim, in the years past, there's been a lot of tension between the circle track and the straight line drag racers. Well, now we're working together. The Holiday Horsepower Drive is going to have a car show April 6th at Mid-America Motorplex. And here's the nice thing. It's not just stock cars. I don't want just stock cars. I want everybody. Man, the racers that go out and see Jim on Friday and Saturdays, bring your cars out.
I could throw a good wax on my truck and bring it out.
Bring it out.
Yeah, we are going to have one class. We are going to have one class. It's called the Ugly Duckling. The Ugly
That's
Duckling.
what I can get into.
Hey, my ex-wife can get in that one.
Oh!
Yeah, well, both of my ex-wives can get in that one. So on the Ugly Duckling, the only rule is it cannot be trailered in. It has to be streetable, driven in, and put up. We want to see the 72 Chrysler Cordoba station wagon.
Sorry, ugly?
We want to see the big boats.
To each their own.
No, exactly. So Ugly Duckling, huh? That'll be fun.
The Ugly Duckling class. But yeah,
Is there a contest? Best classic car wins?
If you go to the front stretch of the Holiday Horsepower Drive, me and Jim are going to work on it. I told Jim how we're going to do it, but we got a month.
Mm-hmm.
But basically what I'm envisioning is everybody's going to have a 10x10 spot or a 10x20 spot, show off their car. Look, we want this to be free for all the entrants, and that's what we're trying to finalize. If it's not free, it'll be really cheap. But it'll be free. The fans can come in for free. If you like Jim Bob's 69 Chevelle, put $1 in there.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, you just pointed the donuts and I got
what's
hungry.
the charity, buddy? Tell me what the charity
The
is.
Holiday
again.
Horsepower Drive. It's it's something that the stock car racers have done for 6 years now. 2014 will be the 7th year. And we raised cash and money and toys and T-shirts and whatnot for the kids at the Omaha Children's Hospital. For the first time, drag racing is brought into the Holiday Horsepower Drive with the Mid-America Motorplex.
I think it'll be great.
It'll be a good time. April 6th. Can I ask if you guys have a contingency plan if, Listen, we saw it this week.
If it rains?
Don't say the R word.
We saw an inch of snow earlier in the week. We saw 50-degree temperatures in the middle of the week, and then we saw 2 inches of snow the next day. So what? It's the Midwest.
What do we do?
Is there a backup date?
Nope, it's a one-day, one and done. That's all we can do. I mean, Mid-America Motorplex is opening their doors for us. The only thing I can think of for contingency is bring your umbrella.
yeah, man up a little bit. I'm going to be running back and forth that day. I got another event that I'm hosting that I'm involved with, but I am going to be back and forth. My staff's going to be there. People are going to be there. I'm sure a lot of my racers
we
will
would love
participate.
to see. Yeah, we'd love to see 100 cars. And seriously, it's our first year. We're going to have a lot to learn. And if it goes over good, we'll do something in 2015, and we'll have a little bit more organizing. I mean, we're going to do our best that we can do this year.
Sorry, do you even know what that word means?
Organized?
Yeah.
Organized.
It's one of them words that Rachel taught him?
Yeah. You know how you spell organized? W-I-F-E.
Yeah. That's a good shout out. Good job on that.
I'm still spelling it out in my head. Jim Howe from the Midwest Motorplex, also known as Roadkill. Jim, what's your guys' website?
Okay, www.midamericamotorplex.com.
I get it wrong, don't I?
And of course, we got Facebook.
Sorry.
We got 4,500 plus on Facebook.
Yeah, come on.
I'll tell you, you need to go there. You need to check it out. We're updating our website with the new ownership and stuff, but I'll tell you, it's pretty fresh. You can see all the pictures. You can click on drag or road course. Check out the aerial view. I'm really excited that Buddy came to me with this. And I talked to the owner, John, and his wife, Chris, and I said, you know what? Let's do something nice.
Yeah.
So this is a nice thing. We're opening up. We're insuring it. We're opening the track. We're giving the facility. Buddy's your host. It's going to be a good time. I'm going to be calling him. I'm going to be up. I'm going to give this another little plug here, okay? I'm going to be up in Logan at the hill climb, but there's no reason you can't hit that hill climb and hit I-29 and boom and hit the Motorplex at the same time. And I just think it's really neat that Buddy gets it. You know, he's one of the few guys in the area that gets it. Drag racing, road course racing, stock car racing, motorcycle, sport bike, everything. We're one big family, and we really do need to stick together in the community and make it successful.
Racing's racing, no matter how you look at it.
And I talked to you about it at the Quaker Steak and Lube that one night. This show's to promote racing. It doesn't matter what form of racing you're doing. For me, I promote my racing to the refrigerator, and I think that deserves that. Listen, I got a good time on that lap, but we're here to promote racing. So you're welcome on the show anytime. We enjoy having you, and especially since you brought donuts.
Roadkill, real quick. We were just talking before you came in. How did you get the name Roadkill?
Yeah. Oh, it's a long story.
Because you don't look like a little possum that you got ran over.
I'll tell you the truth. I'll tell you part of the story, or most of it. When I was real young, my friends we went on a little Harley Davidson weekend. I think it's Memorial Day weekend, and we went up to Humboldt, Iowa. You ever heard of Humboldt?
Oh yeah.
Guess what? Humboldt, Iowa drags. Okay, so we're up there, and a couple guys were drag racing Harleys, and we were having fun. And I was pretty crazy back then. I used to have a couple cocktails now and then, and this guy dropped his hamburger, and he was a pretty big guy in a pretty big club with a pretty big black vest, and and it was 9 o'clock in the morning, and I don't think he and I had been to bed yet, and I maybe had a shot of Jack Daniels, and I looked at him, I said, you know, you're a pretty tough guy, but how can you let a hamburger fall on the ground and not eat it? It's simple. It's just easy roadkill. And I picked it up, took a bite, and I go, here, show me if you're a real man. But that was part of the story. My friends called me roadkill because they thought I was going to get killed by that guy. And then the next time, and then also when we used to ride, I used to lean over and we'd point at animals on the road. I act like I'd scoop them up and throw them back at you, you know. And I say some good old roadkill back there. The other reason, it's really a three-part reason. The guys down at Napa and Platts were the ones that named me Roadkill. It's Mark and Lee. They gave me my nickname. They're my real good best friends, and they said, you know what, Jim, if you even make it past 19, that means you're going to end up roadkill. So they nicknamed me, and they had a lot of fun with me. But
so it kind of stuck. Just the three different instances, it just you seem to gravitate towards roadkill.
Oh Lord, it's been something else. I'll tell you what. You know, I want to say one more thing. I was at Joe's Karting. Check this out. I've been praying for my daughter to get into motorsports. I'm an enduro rider. I ride KTMs and dirt bikes. I'm like, please get into sport. You know, you're my daughter. You got the easy way in. And my dad took us to Christmas at Joe's Karting this year. I was so excited to see Buddy, and you weren't there, Buddy, and God bless you for going through what you've been through lately with your father.
Thank you.
Sorry.
But I was there, and I just thought, let's try this. Well, my daughter's like, I don't know if I want to do it, Daddy. And well, guess what? She got out there, and we had a great time.
Yeah.
And, of course, I won, you know. But, but you know, 2 weeks later, I go, what do you want to do? Just me and you. Let's go do something. She goes, let's hit Quaker Steak and Lube, and let's hit Joe's Karting. And I go, are you serious? I almost started crying. I'm like, woo! So we went there, and she had fun, and every once in a while, she's been throwing down the Joe's Karting stuff. And I tell you what, guys. It is the most darn fun.
It really is.
It's not a wimpy deal.
No.
You get your money's worth.
We were just in there Tuesday, and who was it? What's the guy's name? We were talking to in your office. Him and his wife came in and raced?
Oh, Shane Oknuski.
Yes. He came in, and he says, well, we're going to try out this Joe's Karting thing. When you hear about you talking about we're going to try it out. He goes and does his race, comes back, and he goes, I can't believe how much fun that was.
It's unbelievable.
He goes, my hands are so sore because I was gripping the steering wheel. I was so tense.
Everybody thinks everybody thinks it's go-karting like Funplex or those are good places. Those are fun places.
Sure they are.
But this is more straight up fast adult oriented.
You're going to go in there and get your blood pumping. You're going to walk in like, I don't want to get out of my house because it's cold and stuff. Come on, Daddy. And you get there, and when you're done, you're feeling good. You're coming home sorting the tools out of your garage.
Yeah.
Jim Howe from Mid-America Motorplex. Took me 4 times. I got it right.
That's all right.
Also known as Roadkill. When did your guys' season open up?
Tell you what, we're firing it up April 5th and 6th. We're going to go hot. It will actually be April 4th, 5th, and 6th, and we run all the way through the end of October into November. And we have 62 drag events this year, and we have about 110 or so road course events.
Wow.
And including Extreme Driving Experience. We're looking at some concerts. We're doing a couple other things that are going to be a lot of fun. We're putting some improvements in. We're working on some things. My racers are getting involved. They're doing a racer committee, and they're actually working on some improvements as well. And all the buzz is back, all the hype. We're looking forward to a nice, fresh start with a good, clean attitude. So.
Good. Think we're going to have him back on before that April 4th, 5th, and 6th weekend?
Oh yeah.
All right, we're going to wrap it all up in turn 4. We'll be back. Jim, thanks for your time, buddy.
Thank you, guys.
This is The Front Stretch on AM 590, Omaha's ESPN Radio.
We have all been there before. Broken car part in your hand and some snot-nosed punk behind the counter has no idea what he is talking about, but he guarantees that this part will fix your car. You pay an arm and a leg for the replacement, get it home, and sure enough, it doesn't fit your car. Now, learn from your mistake and give an experienced salesperson at Kosiski Auto Parts a call today at 402-731-4592. Kosiski Auto Parts will get you back on the road with your arms and legs still attached.
Are you ready for fast-paced, adrenaline-pumping, wheel-to-wheel racing right here in the Metro? Get to Joe's Karting in Council Bluffs and see what it's like to race real go-karts. Joe's Karting knows it's no fun to race go-karts at 10 miles per hour, so they ripped the governors out, and now the only restriction is how good you are at racing. It's full-throttle, white-knuckle racing every day of the week. Head over to joeskarting.com for hours, prices, and specials, or give Buddy a call today and set up your group races at 712-256-5278.
Get ready for the victory lap as we make our way into Turn 4 on the front stretch. Presented by Joe's Karting. Online at joeskarting.com.
Hey, this is Johanna Long, driver of the number 74 Travel Motor Coach Chevrolet for ML Motorsports, and you're listening to The Front Stretch.
Heading into turn number 4 here on the front stretch, presented by Joe's Karting in Council Bluffs. God, it's so great to see it. So great to see
Daytona 500.
The NASCAR season is back in full swing, and you can catch all of the action at Quaker Steak and Lube, the official watering hole of the front stretch.
You know, Josh Most was on the show here about a year or two ago, and he said a lot of times when you want to make an announcement, when you want to make a statement in the standings, and you want to go for that win, you can't just sit around. You got to come out both guns a-blazing. Here's the first race. We got the new grid format. You know, if you think you've seen the boys have attitude, welcome into the new era this year.
I'm going to completely back you up on that, which is something I very rarely do. I disagree with you all the time.
Yes, you do.
But you're completely right. Daytona and Talladega are the opportunities for the, I'm going to say it, but I don't want to mean it in the meaning, but the bottom feeding teams. Some of these start and parkers. They've got an opportunity here to pick up a win. And Daytona, here's the thing I don't like about Daytona, is that it all comes down literally to the last lap. You have to be in the top 5 or 6 to really have a shot. David Gilliland is a perfect situation.
Absolutely.
Perfect scenario that they were able to steal a win away at Talladega last year. I'm not knocking their team at all, but they're not Hendrick Motorsports. They're not Joe Gibbs Racing. They're not the powerhouses that have the edge on the aerodynamics or this package or the right engine setups. These guys have an opportunity today, and you better believe it. When they've got their opportunity, they sense that it's there. There's going to be a lot of blocking going on in that backstretch, and there's going to be a lot of shuffling. There will be, I don't go out on a limb a lot, and I don't think I'm going out on a limb here. There will be a massive wreck in turns 3 and 4.
But with the new format, I mean, like Josh said, any team, whether it's the bottom feeder or the top-notch Jimmy Johnson, Hendrick Motorsports teams, they have to make a statement today. They have to come out and they have to set the pace today because the competition is going to be that much tougher with the new grid format.
Whoever wins today is in the playoff system, is in the new NASCAR grid system.
It's everybody for themselves. And in that way, I think the bottom feeder teams, not that they're truly bottom feeder.
Yeah, we're using that term.
Yeah,
it's a lack of a better term.
Yeah. But with the bottom feeder teams, that could put them at a straight disadvantage right from the get-go. That's the only thing I don't like about it. But, hey, you never know. With Daytona Talladega, you've always been right. It's a crapshoot. You get in that draft and you haul the mail, and David Gilliland, what happened there?
Yep.
That's right. We all remember that. So
I want to say thank you to Jim Howe. He ponied up. We didn't get to cover it in the interview, but he's going to give us 4 tickets to the Extreme Thunder and Fire exhibition show at Mid-America Motorplex, and 4 t-shirts for the person that has whoever is leading in the point standings after Auto Club Speedway will get themselves the 4-pack of tickets to the Extreme Thunder and Fire Exhibition Center show, and then 4 tickets. And what we're going to do, we're going to put your name on a list at the door, and that way you're not getting 4 small T-shirts, and maybe you're a guy like me that needs a double XL. Maybe you're a bigger guy. Maybe you're a big guy, and we give you small shirts. Doesn't do you any good, does it? Well, they're going to get your name at the door, and they're going to get you the size of the shirt that that will fit you. So they're taking care of you in that case, and thank you so much to Jim for doing that. We do appreciate all of Jim's support in that case, and we got to have him back on.
Oh,
that was
man.
way too much fun not to do that again. Also, I don't know what to make of today's Daytona 500. I've watched the Unlimited. I've watched the duels. Frankly, I don't think it means squat, because there's 2 factors that come into effect at Daytona that really bother me. One is nobody wins the Daytona 500 on any other lap but the white flag lap. And 2, these cars are way too expensive to have the checkers or wreckers attitude. You can do it during the Unlimited, and you can do it during the duels. You don't do it at the Daytona 500.
But it's going to happen.
The speeds are too high. There's going to be an accident, and I pray to all heavenly figures above that we don't have another repeat of what we did last year, which was straight inline racing, no passing. It was just everybody rode single file, and there wasn't any moves for the lead on the last lap.
I'm gonna cry if I see that today.
I will too, and I've got a little bit. NASCAR has restored a little bit of faith, because I want to point out something that I kind of was surprised that the TV broadcast didn't point it out: the side draft. They weren't pointing out the side draft near as much as I was seeing. I want to take Tony Stewart, for example, during the Unlimited in the first segment. He kept running up on a guy, getting right up on his left rear quarter panel, and sucking that side draft off of him. And then all of a sudden, you'd see that car drop 4, 5, 6, 7 miles an hour, and Tony be able to pick up the spot. After he did that a couple of times, he got up there into the smarter guys. They started doing it back to him. And so he was getting caught. The catalyst, but the deciding factor is, will anybody go with Tony? Or will anybody go with that driver? The problem they had last year was that they couldn't get that side draft, and the cars weren't stable enough to where they could get the momentum. They'd stick their nose out and drop like a parachute was just deployed.
Yep.
That didn't happen at the Unlimiteds. That didn't happen at the duels. It's going to be. I got faith that we're going to see a lot of passing today, but still, it's not going to happen until later in the race. So I'm just tempering a little bit of expectations.
My pick right from the get-go for this Pick'ems contest.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually going to go on a limb. Kyle Larson.
Oh gosh, that would be okay. Let me just ask you a scenario. How awesome would it be if Austin Dillon won the Daytona 500?
No, seriously, good for him. But what's going to tick me off is going to have all the haters out there. Oh, where's the NASCAR?
They're going to happen anyways. Let me ask you, what's a bigger story? Dale Jr. winning the Daytona 500 or Austin Dillon winning the Daytona 500?
Oh, Austin Dillon in the 3-car.
You think that's a bigger story?
Oh, yeah.
You don't think Junior Nation will push that media frenzy?
What would be the best case scenario for NASCAR and the Earnhardts would be a 388 1-2 finish. That would be the perfect combination.
I don't know. I think it'd be bigger if Earnhardt won, but Austin Dillon showing form. And he's a great driver. I think he's got a chance.
I'm going 388, but some guys are going to say, okay, Earnhardt leading the 3 across the start-finish line. That would that would be the best case scenario.
Get to Quaker Steak and Lube today. Coverage starts at about noon. The official watering hole of the front stretch, Quaker Steak and Lube in Council Bluffs. I'll be down there. You can come down and give me your picks for the Pick'em contest. Get registered. Get your chance at winning so many prizes throughout the season. Want to say thank you to Joe's Karting for sponsoring the front stretch, Kaziski Auto Parts for coming back, Quaker Steak and Lube for being a sponsor. Want to say thank you to Jim Howe, Roadkill from Mid-America Motorplex for joining us, buddy. We're hours away from the Daytona 500.
Yeah, we're ready to go.
All right, have a great weekend, boys. We'll do it again next time. This has been the front stretch on AM 590, Omaha's ESPN Radio.
For 50 years, Eagle Raceway has been pushing the limits of dirt track racing. Saturday nights, come see the Midwest Best Battle at the fastest third-mile track. Gates open at 5:30 for IMCA Modifieds, Sport Compacts, Hobby Stocks, Sport Mods, and Race Saver Sprint Cars. Eagle kicks their season off on April 19th with the Icebreaker Challenge, featuring the debut of the Race Saver Sprint Cars. Located just 10 minutes east of Lincoln on Highway 34 and online at eagleraceway.com.
Are you ready for fast-paced, adrenaline-pumping, wheel-to-wheel racing right here in the Metro? Get to Joe's Karting in Council Bluffs and see what it's like to race real go-karts. Joe's Karting knows it's no fun to race go-karts at 10 miles per hour, so they ripped the governors out, and now the only restriction is how good you are at racing. It's full-throttle, white-knuckle racing every day of the week. Head over to joeskarting.com for hours, prices, and specials, or give Buddy a call today and set up your group races at 712-256-5278.